2E0 XVX, right, with a video on my MMDVM project. Right, this is the first one I did. I call this MMDVM grey because I found a grey case for it. Power on switch, made a bezel, a grey bezel for the screen. Couldn't get any grey to match that. It's showing up a lot more darker on the video than it is in real light. If I can try and get it so it's in daylight, you'd probably see. But anyway, let me just spin it around. I've taken the screws off out the bottom, so I'm going to take the lid off in a second. I've got a power switch in, 39 volts in, well 0 to 39 volts in, main switch, little stubby 70 centimetre antenna, and I'll put a cooling fan in the back with 2 screws in it. So we'll lift the lid and have a look inside my MMDVM box. Right, here we go inside. Obviously, first thing that springs to mind, buck converter to keep it steady, nice steady voltage going into the Pi. And as you can see, I'll tip it up, go over on the top. We have a Raspberry Pi 3 DV mega board on it, USB to TTL converter, and then we spin it around to the front. I have the Nextion screen. The Nextion screen can be programmed in 2 ways. Firstly, program it on the programmer on your computer, stick a micro SD card in there, power it on with just the volt. You don't need the other two, you just need the 5-volt rail and the positive negative, and then boot it up and it will dump the graphics onto the screen. It will say done when it's finished. Or you can just unplug this USB to TTL converter, stick that in your computer and do it on the fly, and it will just put all the graphics on there that way. So yeah, this is the MMDVM. I find using this, well, obviously because you've got a DV mega board on there, the pins you need are to power this up are right underneath there, so you cannot use just the 4 pins on the top, stuck on the top, because obviously we're using a DV mega and that's in the way. So to get around that, you use the USB to TTL converter. Dead easy. TX goes to RX, RX goes to TX, so you just swap those over. So on the back of the screen it says TX and RX, get that in focus, just down here. So TX will go to RX, RX will go to TX. And if we look on there, you'll just about see it. So all you got to do is swap the 2 over. When this powers up, it's really good. Now, what I found is if you have it running on DMR D-Star Fusion and you have it monitoring all the time, this Pi gets really hot. The chip gets hot. I've got the aluminium cooler on, cooling fans on there, but it doesn't really make much difference. The chip gets to about 59 degrees, 60 degrees. So I put this little tiny 12-volt fan on there, and it just blows enough air straight onto the chip. Believe it or not, that does actually cool it down, and it keeps it about 50 degrees, and that's running with all 3 modes going at the same time. Now, I have cracked the holy grail on this. I've managed to get it to work on DMR D-Star Fusion and D-Star. I've got D-Star, XRF, REFs and DCSs fully working with this bit of kit. I have got another one of these. The one that I actually use, we'll just jump over to my MMDVM, which I've got over here. I'm running a heavy duty fan on here. Now this is the actual kit when it's up and running. I've got the net on at the moment.
I got Whiskey 7, Whiskey Zulu.
That's the screen coming on. Yes, a good bit of kit. Anyway, if you need any help, just go to 2e0xvx@gmail.com. Drop me a line and I'll see if I can help you out. The dashboard I have got over here. And then also I run the IRC DDB Gateway app, so you can just go down and go, right, we want to go to XRF 1 Charlie, 30 Charlie, whatever. But the screen, the MMDVM screen, I think is way better than the Pi Star one. really much better. It's just easy to look at the screen. You know, if you just want to keep to your last hertz, you just go down there, and using the Nextion screen, it makes a big difference, a big difference with this bit of kit. Anyway, 7.3s, catch you ladies.